So as some of you may know, I went to the Chicago Auto Show on February the 8th and saw a lot of really cool cars there. I got like a solid 2 hours plus of footage, and I was gonna make a giant compilation video, but that's gonna take like a long time, so it may never come out. But in the meantime, while I'm struggling to get some main projects out, I figured I'd upload this, and this is just a quick little review of every manual we could find at the Chicago Auto Show. So these reviews are going to take into account clutch feel and shifter feel and nothing else, because this is specifically about the manual transmissions in the cars. So, and again, these are all my opinions. I'm sure a lot of people with more expertise might disagree with me quite strongly, but just sitting in the cars briefly, this is what I felt, what I got out of each manual setup for each of the cars we drove, or sat in, I should say. So starting out in chronological order, we had the Toyota 86. This is like a Heritage Edition. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's the one with the very nice green paint and the bronze wheels. I took some footage inside, as I did with all the cars here, and I'll let you listen to my thoughts as I initially got in and tried out the shifter.
Oh shit, my phone. Oh, this is nice. Don't you shift now? Hey. Let's feel that. Oh, you can depress the clutch. Oh, that's so weird. So it's like super hard for the first like 3 inches and then nothing. It's like nothing. It's a pain. Throttle feels fine, exactly what you expect, right? Let me see this. So 1, 2. Ooh, it's notchy. It's really notchy.
I like it.
It's
I really
much.
like it.
It's more notchy than the WRX, and then there's 6, and then I presume it's up, and then that's reverse.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, I think that's it. So
I guess
you got the engine start stop. You got manual e-brake, like a true enthusiast vehicle. You got adjustable armrest, heated seats. Why? Let me fix it.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, I got it.
Wait. There we go. That's neutral. So neutral's up a little bit.
Okay.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then.
So next up we have the Ford Mustang GT that was on display. It was definitely interesting. It was a good contrast to the 86. The car was very nice looking on the outside. The paint had been a little roughed up because a lot of people had touched it, but it was a very pretty Mustang on the outside, and the interior was quite nice. But the shifter was not quite up to par with, especially when compared against the 86.
Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, man.
Mustang. 55 years. How's that clutch feel? Alright,
That's really weird.
Yeah, I think they made this transition much worse.
You feel like shaking a little bit.
That start-stop button, not as good as often.
Feel that. Just push it forward.
Yeah.
Did you feel that?
Yeah. See, yeah, it feels like really less notchy, sort of grainy almost. It's like 4 clicks per thing. There's 6. Is it up and then pull up and then reverse, or what? Is it a 5-speed? No, it's probably a 6-speed.
That's a really weird gear to get
Yeah,
into.
I'm not sure I like this transmission. You do have manual e-brake. Alright. Feels good. Driving position is so comfy. It's like plush and squish.
Yeah.
Just so much squish. Clutch feel, really like hard really and then really loose.
Want to see what the manual is?
Yeah, I've seen it. I know, it's like it pops down. Yep.
I like that.
Sort of wacko. Yeah, the clutch feels good. I'd say the 86s felt a little bit better. This one just feels a little bit more.
Let's talk about this.
Slushy, sloshy. I know. I'm describing the clutch, but then 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my gosh, yeah, that vibrates a lot.
Yeah.
6. Going into 5th, 4th, 5th. Oh my gosh, yeah. That's no bueno. I really don't enjoy that. E-brake feels fine. I don't know.
Let's go.
They don't have top
Another
stick
stick
one either.
in there. It's gonna be bouncing around there.
Yeah. So they said that people were saying that they really ruined these transmissions on the new ones, because the old ones were apparently better, but
Like what years? Like
the refresh for this gen of Mustang, they made it worse.
oh, really?
Apparently.
Huh. That's all right.
Which sort of stinks. But you know, they have that great, like, what is it, the 10-speed now? It's like stupid good.
Yeah, I heard about
Oh yeah,
that.
6 is jiggly too. So, I mean, that's something, I guess.
Moving on from Ford, we have Mazda, and Mazda was full of surprises for me. I was not expecting them to be as good as they were, but specifically talking about the Miata, it was very nice. The new ND platforms are very cool. They look very good from the outside. They are very small, especially when you're right up next to them. But they were very interesting.
Alright, carbon fiber there, leather there. Alright, let's feel this clutch.
There you go. Tiny.
I'm telling you, with the soft top up, it has gonna be like that.
I could fit in a Miata. I could probably drive a Miata.
So what manuals have we been in so far?
BRZ, Miata, Mustang.
BRZ is the best one.
Yeah, I agree.
I think this is a little too...
Here, let me feel it. Ooh, it's responsive. I think it's a little bit more vague than the BRZ, which makes it...
The BRZ, I like the notches. But the Mustang
Yeah.
was by far the worst.
I agree.
That's...
Alright, manual test. Oh, it's so small. Oh, it's so small. Oh, it's tiny.
these are
Okay, so
nice.
I fit okay.
I really like this color scheme.
I can have my foot off of everything and still be able to turn the wheel and press start stop. Oh, that's a good sign.
It's
All right, clutch
very
feel. Worst clutch, very short throw, I think. It's very vague at the start and then hard and then nothing. I think it has the worst clutch, even compared to the Mustang. The shifter feels, I think it's second best compared, like we were saying in the other one. Part 2, so it's hard on the clutch. Hard, more hard, nothing. Hard, nothing. Hard, nothing. Okay, shifter. Oh, it's so stiff. Yeah, it's stiffer than the
What's this
than
over
the
here?
Veloster N, but it feels better. It's stiff in a good way.
I like the Veloster N better.
It feels too shaky though when you put it in gear, and for that reason, I don't like it as much as the GTA 6.
What's this?
But yeah, it's an inline 4.
Here's just some shots of under the hood, just for the heck of it. And then moving on, we go to Honda. Now, the two manuals that we were able to try out at the Honda booth were the SI and the Type R, and I was very surprised by both of them. I found they both felt incredibly similar. The only real distinction I could make was that the Type R's clutch was a tiny bit heavier, but they both felt remarkably similar to my 2006 Honda Civic EX, which I have a video coming out soon that'll be detailing that car. But it felt remarkably similar to that, and I was very surprised. But I'll let my reaction speak for itself.
Oh wow, it's a super light clutch. It's like the other Civic.
I got his face.
Come on, let's go look at another one.
Yeah, I can't find fifth in this. weird.
you waking?
No, just playing with it.
Either. That was hard. That was weird.
There was no resistance, like whatsoever. Oh, just for the camera, for future reference, the shifter felt really notchy in the SI. It felt like good, but the clutch, it was like a toy. It was exactly like, it didn't feel solid. It was exactly like the other Civics, like the 2006 Civics clutch. They're identical in every way. It was so weird, but the shifter was really good. Thank you for catching that. I wasn't too sorry. Okay, I didn't record any of that. Cool. Okay. So the clutch feels. Here are the seats. I guess I should do that. I didn't record any of this. Yikes. Okay, so the clutch feels really light, just like the SI. It feels almost identical to the SI. The shifter also feels almost identical to the SI. I can't find fifth. I can only find reverse. There's the backup camera. Other than that, like, it feels almost identical. I don't know.
It's so hard to find fifth. I think that's third, actually.
Start,
And
stop,
then push
good.
over all the way and then go back until you get.
That's third, I think.
Is it?
Third? Yeah, that's definitely third. I don't know, man. I don't know. I like it, though. I like it. It's good.
I just can't find
Good.
it.
I'd say the shifter feels identical to the SI, which is weird.
Moving away from Honda, we get to the wonderful Hyundai Veloster N, which is it looks so good. I wasn't expecting it to be as good looking as it was, but it was definitely very cool. Since this car came out, I've been a little bit in favor of it over the Type R, but I think it really proved itself as far as even just the shifter here. I think it was a really, really good shifter.
That's really weird. We just end bags on the floor.
Yeah, I know. Veloster. I got a Veloster badge. Oh yeah, the shiny end badge. I like this steering wheel. This feels really good. The design is a little bit bland, but
I like this a lot. The shifter is awesome.
the seats are neat-ish. I like these big. I don't like the design of these buttons, but they're very big, which is sort of nice. Let me feel that shifter. So, pedal feel. It feels like the Civics, but a little bit harder. It's like soft, sort of hard, easy. Similar to the Civics in a lot of ways. Brake pedal feels good. Gas is really loose.
Sounds was pretty good.
I take it back. Since it was good, I like the shift knob. It feels really substantial. It looks really substantial. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It feels good. And that's reverse. Sorry. It feels really good.
I really like it. This is probably my favorite shifter so far.
And you got, ooh. Yeah, this one's up there. I don't know. It feels a little bit too hefty for me.
Really?
It's almost too hard. It's just not quite as notchy as like the BRZ. But the BRZ was a really good shifter. It just notched in so easily. Or sorry, the GT86. But yeah, this one is just good.
All the buttons feel really nice, actually.
Yeah, I'm impressed by this. I think this is making me more convinced that I want this more than the Civic.
Oh yeah.
Everything about it.
I like it a lot.
Me too.
How to enter the sweepstakes or about our award-winning lineup
And you do have a back row.
Please don't hesitate
It's
to ask
interesting.
any product specialist here on the floor. We would love to answer all your questions today.
Then we have the Volkswagen Golf GTI, which was rather disappointing, to be honest. I was expecting a lot more out of this car, but the shifter just did not live up.
I don't like that. It should be shiny like that.
Yeah, I agree. You're right.
I
like the golf ball shifter.
Who doesn't?
Put your foot on the clutch.
I put my on.
Yeah.
It's on the clutch.
Oh, it's not. What?
It's on. It's on. It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
I can't go backwards. I don't know how to go backwards. Even though I'm like, there we go. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
the shifter, it's hard to find neutral in it.
I think
But other than that, it's pretty solid. It's okay.
if I knew how to heel toe,
Not
I'd
my
heel toe.
favorite. Yeah, you could heel toe on that. Not my favorite shifter. maybe one of the worst. I think it's up there with the Mustang as far as bad.
Oh, I like it.
I like the golf ball shifter, but it just feels too vague for me. I don't like that. It's gross. The steering wheel is nice.
I do like the steering wheel.
After the Volkswagen booth, I was incredibly excited to get in some Subarus. I am a massive Subaru fan. I was very excited to get in a WRX STI and one of their BRZs, and neither of them disappointed in the slightest. Starting out here with the WRX, I did not get to try the non-STI based WRX because it was too crowded, but I did get to try the STI, and it was an incredibly cool experience. It was just so interesting. The shifter feels very, very good, and so does the clutch. I really think this one was up there.
Yes, please, Nick. Ooh. Alcantara. Oh my gosh.
I couldn't find fifth again. Maybe I'm
This
just
feels
bad.
special.
It feels like an event.
Oh, that's great. Ooh, made a pop. I like this screen up here. Where is it? Power? If I can move it. Oh, I can. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's power seats, bro. Bruh. Right. Oh. Okay, the clutch is pretty consistent all the way through, and it's not that heavy.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
What
Try.
about I will.
What do you think about this? I'm curious.
Okay, here we go. One. Ooh. Short throws, very firm. Ooh, fourth feels weird. I mean, third and fourth feel weird.
Fifth is hard to find.
There's fifth. That's not
Did
hard.
you?
Yeah, it's easy.
Huh.
First, it's just a short throw. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It feels notchy. And then I think that's 6. Oh, there's 6. Never mind. That's reversed. There's 5th, and there's 6. Oh, it's a 6-speed. That's amazing. I think this is just bare. I think it's probably my second favorite manual transmission. Out of all of them. Behind the BRZ.
Alright, that's fair. How's it compared to your wagon?
The shifter feels a little bit notchier and just about as firm. It has a little bit less play, and it feels like where the wagon notches in like twice is like, it feels almost like 3 rippers when you go into gear. It's interesting. And then, oh yes, yes, driver controlled center differential. It's so cool. Alcantara on this. That's so cool. Ooh, and the steering wheel feels really good.
This black right here I do not like. I'm not gonna lie.
Steering wheel feels really good. Nice. I like the steering wheel a lot too. This is so nice.
To finish it all off, we have the BRZ coming full circle back to the BRZ 86 FRS platform, and Subaru did not disappoint with a essentially identical, probably mechanically identical feel. It was very pleasant. It was notchy and consistent, and it felt incredibly good, even without a shift knob. It was very nice to be in.
Oh man, I like the shifter a lot.
Ooh, nice and low. Low slung. I like this interior.
Feel this. It's nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is my favorite shifter. Oh yeah, this is my favorite shifter. This beats even the STI shifter.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just so notchy and precise and heavy, but like not too heavy. The Velocities was a little bit too heavy, like all the time. But this, it just makes you be deliberate. I don't like this little culled out display, and these dials feel really glidey. I prefer it when they feel notchy, but I do like toggles. Another dream. BRZ clutch feel. It's hard, loose. It feels pretty moderate the whole way, but and then the transition to loose is not as sharp as some other cars. I like the red stitching.
Agreed.
Feels good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. So good. I would love driving this thing. I'd love owning this thing.
Oh yeah.
It would be so cool. Stop. I like the big traction control off button. That's very
Track
good.
mode.
And track mode. I'm not sure what that does.
Makes it good
Well,
track.
I mean, it turns your car off, so... I mean, turns traction control off, so...
I hope it's
So to wrap up, in first place, I'm ranking the BRZ/86. The shifter was notchy, it felt solid and heavy, yet quick and usable. I think it was a very consistent, very nice shifter with a clutch feel that made sense and felt sturdy, and I really enjoyed spending time in the driver's seat of those cars. Next, I put the WRX STI. It also had a notchy, short throw shifter. It didn't have quite as nice of a feel. It felt a little bit more vague than the BRZ, but it was quite close, and it felt a little bit heavier, but I sort of liked that. Then after the WRX, I ranked the Miata, which was a little bit less notchy than the BRZ, and it was still short. It was a little bit less robust feeling than the BRZ and the WRX. The clutch felt a little odd and alternated between heavy and light feel depending on how far you press down. It was an excellent shifter, but it was just a little bit worse than the BRZ, and the clutch didn't quite make up for the bits of the shifter that were lacking. Then in fourth, I put the Veloster N. I felt like it was a little bit too heavy and slow. It was a little bit too powerful and clumsy feeling. It was very nice though. I could imagine that car would be a blast to drive with that shifter. It just felt a little bit... I would have preferred it if it were a little bit more throwable. But the clutch was also pretty weak, which I thought was odd because the shifter was so rough by contrast. Then in fifth, I put both the Civics, the SI and the Type R. Type R was a tiny bit better just because the clutch had a little bit more of a feel to it. They both felt like a toy, super light and fast, a little bit too weak. And when I describe them as a toy, I don't particularly mean that as a negative. It just means that they were very light and very throwable and very soft, and it's a pleasant feel, but I prefer the firmer shifting experience of the BRZ and the WRX. Then in sixth, I put the Mustang GT. I felt like the shifter was just really vague, really rough throws. It had a whole lot of assembly shakes when you're going into fifth or sixth. It felt really uneasy, and the clutch was pretty mediocre. Overall, it just wasn't a very pleasant experience. And then in last, seventh, I put the Golf GTI, just because it was way too vague. It was very light. It was super hard to find neutral, and it was way too easy. You could see in the video, when I'm trying to go down into neutral, occasionally I go down into second or fourth. I don't like that. I feel like neutral should be very easy to get to. And that shifter, I can imagine myself shifting hard and fast and not quite getting it where I want it to go. I feel like it would be a little bit of an inconsistent shifter that I wouldn't enjoy compared to the others. That's not to say it was a bad shifter, and I loved the design with the golf ball shift knob. I thought that was very cool. The Golf was good. I just felt like it didn't quite get up there with the rest of them. Probably could have ranked Mustang below it, but they were both very close. Then we had a couple of honorable mentions that we didn't get to drive, but were there, including some of these amazing 70s Subarus. There's a Subaru four-wheel drive, that's actually the model name, that we saw that looked very cool. I hadn't seen one of those before. And then there was also a Subaru Brat that had been converted into a camper which was excellent. I'm sure the manual transmissions in those were super janky and super fun. And then there was also a pretty vast collection of vintage American muscle cars. There was a Shelby Cobra, there were some older Mustangs, and there was a couple of vintage Corvettes, all of which I'm sure had very nice shifters, but unfortunately we didn't get to try them. And then last but not least, there was the Audi TT that we weren't able to get into because it was locked, but it had a manual shifter, and I'm assuming it would have been a ton of fun. There's also a Mazda Cosmo with a manual transmission. I don't know much about this car, but it looked very interesting, and I'm sure the shifting experience would have been very fun. So that's my review of every manual that we could find at the Chicago Auto Show. I'm sure there were a couple more out there that we didn't manage to sit in, but that was just the ones we hit. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it's at least somewhat insightful. And I'll see you in the upcoming videos. I have a new one that should be coming out very soon. I just decided to pump this one out beforehand so I would have something out on the channel besides the introduction video. So I hope you enjoyed.